You're watching Teen Talk with Jane Marks.
Family therapist Jane Marks joining us this morning. Good morning, Jane.
Good morning, Abby. How are you this morning?
Doing well, thank you. And here's our Teen Talk question for this time around. Spring break is upon us once again, and as a conscious parent, I think it would be very important to go over spring break safety tips as we are about to approach this coming week. Please give us your tips for a happy and healthy spring break.
Well, it's very important because as parents understand the importance of keeping safe during this week is really critical. You know, this is the highest ever statistic. The unfortunate statistic is that the spring break is the highest number ever of alcohol-related injuries and deaths than any other time of the year. Panama City this year is expecting record numbers of both college students and high school students at the same time. So if your teen is going away, certainly there's the potential of undue influence, Abby. And so if we break it down into 4 sets of tips: out-of-town tips, beach tips, drinking tips, and general safety tips. So let's start with out-of-town tips. When taking a trip out of town, make sure you and your teen have a roadside emergency kit. Does your child know how to change a tire, jump start a car? Have a safety check done on the car before leaving town. Make sure everyone in the vehicle buckles up. If you're taking an out-of-town trip, stay with groups, especially going to and leaving events. There is safety in numbers. Choose a hotel room on floors 2 through 6 to avoid break-ins and make any potential fire exits safe. Choose a safe hotel in the center of action. It's important for teens to bring as few valuables as possible. Make sure a chaperone is in charge of valuables, including travel documents and money. Now, beach tips. Do not go swimming if there are no lifeguards. Lifeguards are aware of vital information of the surrounding beaches or lakes, and particularly in foreign areas. This is often missed. Remember, these guards are typically trained for special case scenarios. Always, always be aware of the weather. Knowing what is under the water is common sense, but knowing how to read the weather is crucial. So every day, always be aware of weather concerns. Be cautious in the sun. Always use sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher and apply before going out for today. Remember that the sun exposure can be dangerous. If you are participating in any kind of sport or recreational activity, make sure you're using the appropriate safety gear, helmets, knee pads, jackets. Keep them handy. Drinking tips. Stay with bottled drinks. No matter where you are, whether you're with friends or potential new friends, remember, girls frequently fall victim to using date rape drugs in their drinks. Always head out with a girlfriend and always keep an eye on her drink. No matter what the drinks are, if you are at a big function, return the favor. If a person gets up to dance, make sure you are always aware of what is happening with anything that you put in your mouth. Always have a designated driver. Have an honest discussion with your teen regarding alcohol. It is often easily available to underage partiers, especially at the beach and especially in foreign areas. Watch for signs of predatory drugs that can be slipped into a drink. When a drink is spiked with a drug like Ambien or Roofies, most people will show these symptoms: wooziness, confusion, slurred speech, difficulty standing. Do not leave a party with someone you just met, male or female. Now, these are general spring break tips. Establish regular phone checks in and stick to them. Make sure each parent has a detailed itinerary of the travel plans and make multiple copies. Know what to do in the event of an emergency, particularly if you are out of the country. A website called Students Abroad provides a list of the numbers along with detailed tips for health emergencies, evacuations, and natural disasters. If you're out of town, monitor the State Department advisories on violence, update your vaccinations, check on health insurance, consider taking out traveler's insurance, be safety conscious in foreign countries and foreign areas, and make sure you obey the laws. Upgrade your personal security. StreetSafe is a new mobile personal security system that uses your smartphone GPS technology to instantly connect to help before a situation turns into an emergency. StreetSafe Walk with the service offers a connection to a possession safety advisor to keep you safe when walking in unfamiliar or threatening surroundings, and instant access to 911 if needed. Take advantage of these safety tips. This may make a difference between a safe and happy spring break and one that ends in tragedy.
There's also an app on the phone. It's called Find Friends, which would be a great app for parents to have. Also, if you're going out in a group for spring break, to have that app make sure, because it'll tell you where your friends are, where your kids are, in case of an
Absolutely.
emergency. That's one that I have with my husband and some of our friends too, just in case something ever happens.
I mean, we need to put everything in place when getting ready for spring break.
And with these kids too, this is sometimes their first opportunity to show their parents that they can be responsible, but they need to take these safety precautions, and parents need to be aware of what's out there.
Yeah, the risks are there. You know, you want your teens to have enormous fun, but it is so important that you apply this framework to this particular experience. You want them to have a wonderful spring break.
Absolutely, and these tips will definitely help. And for these tips, you can go to our website, WTXL.tv. Look under Teen Talk. I posted them there. Thank you, Jane, for joining us this morning.
It's my pleasure.
And Sean, some students